I'm R2D2. What's up, YouTube and people who watch our podcast? This is the SixPac Podcast, and this is a special edition because we're just hanging out on a Sunday, and we watched the Eagles just whoop some ass. We didn't even watch it. We didn't even watch it. We watched the Cowboys game because of company, and the Cowboys barely beat the 1-10-1 Texans. So they're 1-11-1 now. So they're 1-11-1.
I want to know who they got it tied to.
And the Cowboys barely beat this team.
Was it a touchdown? Not even a touchdown.
It was something like that. So yeah, for whatever reason, every time I record a podcast with Troy, the podcast cuts off. So that's why there's two podcasts, episode 37 and episode 39, that are two parts. Which, not totally mad about it, because a 20 or 30 minute listen is not as long as an hour sometimes. So I'm drinking on Corona, my not most favorite Mexican beer. And Troy's going to hit that Dr. Pepper. Dr. P. Anyways.
I didn't realize it until Mom told me yesterday that, like, Coke has, like, that, it, like, burns your throat more than beer does.
Well, I mean, okay. I'll give you that. You can drink a lot of different beers and it doesn't burn your throat, but you drink a Coke or Dr. Pepper.
Every single time.
And you get that. But I need that sometimes. Like, when I have, like, I drink too much and I slept with my mouth open. And there's, like, all that congestive phlegm in my throat. A Coke or a Dr. Pepper is exactly what you need at that moment. So this is just from the hip, because we didn't even talk about what we were going to talk about. And we just grabbed some drinks and started recording. So here we are on a Sunday afternoon in December, and the Eagles are 12-1. And I've been hearing a lot of people talking about the Cowboys are going to beat them. I don't see how.
Didn't we already play them?
Yeah, the Eagles beat them. And Christmas Eve, the Eagles will be in town to play the Cowboys. We're talking about going to the game. And we'll be jerseyed up just to piss everybody off for sure. But that's if we go. Nothing's set in stone yet, but enough conversations happen that it might happen. I don't know. Did I tell y'all that Corona's not my most favorite Mexican beer?
Yes.
Yeah. But I'm gonna drink it anyway. Fuck it, why not? So what do we do this weekend? Went to the rabbit hole today.
See the car show.
The car show down at the rabbit hole. Some GTRs, a Supra. 67, huh?
There's two Lambos.
Two Lambos. The 67 Camaro.
So there's two Corvettes, older one and then
And then that old school Volkswagen Rabbit.
Yeah.
That little 2-door hatchback. And your mom took Charlie down there, so Charlie got his little picture taken. Whew. But yeah, that was today. What did we do yesterday?
Got a cat.
Well, you and your mom got a cat that I named. Azazel.
Azazel.
This crazy ass is running around here.
Well, not really running, but yeah.
Well, in the middle of the night, apparently he knocks over Christmas trees and shit. And tries to start fucking shit up. But Azazel, named after the yellow-eyed demon from Supernatural. Because I'm a big Supernatural fanboy. If you never watched Supernatural, go watch Supernatural.
What did you say they were going to do? They were going to do a prequel?
Yeah, they're already doing it. The Winchesters.
Yeah.
And Dean Jensen Ackles is doing the voiceover work for, like, the storytelling part of it. But it's crazy. Those guys have so much pull with the CW after working there for so long on Supernatural.
Sam and Dean?
Yeah. Well, Jensen Ackles, and that's Dean's character. That's his real name in real life. A.K.A. Soldier Boy from The Boys. And Jared Padalecki is Sam. And he's basically directing and just the showrunner for the Walker series that's on CW now, which I watched the first 2 seasons and they were really good.
What is it? Zombies?
No, Walker. Back in the day, before you were ever a thought process in anyone's head, there was a show called Walker Texas Ranger, and it was Chuck Norris, and he had a sidekick. It was a black dude, and they were both Texas Rangers, and they would chase after bad guys, and they were just like these hard ass cops, like Texas Rangers or whatever. Well, in the show, Chuck Norris's character was named Walker. Couldn't tell you his first or last name, or if that was his last name, but that's where Chuck Norris got a lot of his. I don't want to say fame, but his like notoriety. Like that's where people knew him from.
Recognition.
Yeah, there you go, recognition. That's the right word. Fucking taking English and shit, huh? But so that's where Chuck Norris really got one of his bigger plays for his fame and everything. And then Jared decided he was gonna get a green light for the show, so he makes a show called Walker on and he's a Texas Ranger in the show, and it just goes through the aspect of his family's life and navigating being a single father. His wife didn't leave him; she got killed, and that's a whole other storyline within the show. So, but yeah, if you're ever down there towards Austin, make that trip to Dripping Springs and show Jensen Ackles some love at his brewery, Family Business. We still haven't made that trek. We were supposed to make it on a Sunday, and then we ended up in Waco at a different brewery because it's a long trip down there to run down to Dripping Springs. But one day.
Talking about CW, when do you think the Flash CW like fell off?
Fell off? Kind of when I stopped watching it.
Oh.
I mean, the last season that I watched,
do you remember?
the Flash CW, when I stopped watching was when the last season I remember is when the Reverse Flash was still holding like that piece, that metal piece that was keeping him in the timeline, and then he used it, and it was to change the storyline of the newspaper or whatever that the Flash was always staring at. But I mean, I feel like that was like season 6 or 7, and I kind of feel like it fell off after that. I loved the Green Arrow show. I loved Arrow on CW. I named my middle son Oliver because of the concept of the Green Arrow. But the Arrow got a little bit goofy towards the end. And I'm glad they stopped the show.
Yeah, instead of just kept on going with it.
Because sometimes there's shows that it's just like, you got those hardcore, diehard fans that are going to keep watching, but it's not always the greatest output. You're not putting out the greatest product because what I will give Green Arrow is Green Arrow borrows a lot of villains. So it was kind of like watching a Batman storyline sometimes. That's how I felt about it. And I still loved it. Like, they did a really good job with the show. The Malcolm Merlin is not borrowing from Batman. The Ra's al Ghul is borrowing from Batman. What else? I can't remember some of the Argus stuff, the Suicide Squad kind of storyline. That was borrowing from Batman, kind of. But I just really feel like when you look at a comic book and you look at the history of it, like there's only like, in DC, there's the 5 main players. You have Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Flash, right? Those are the main players for DC.
So the Justice League, basically. Besides...
Yeah, but like, even in the cartoon shows for the Justice League, they always try to bring in some extra characters. Yeah. Like, for the movie, the Justice League, they brought in Cyborg. And Cyborg was never really that heavy in the Justice League. He was always a Teen Titans character. Yeah. And let's bring in... I feel like they use Cyborg as a token black guy. I'm not being racist. I'm just saying they needed some ethnicity, so that's who they brought in. because Jason Momoa is not Mexican. He's Hawaiian tribal chief status, Samoan. So they use Jason Momoa as Aquaman, which comic book related is not even similar because it was a blonde hair guy with blue eyes that played Aquaman. And Diana, Wonder Woman, was always what she is.
I forgot what the.
Was it Central America, South America, Brazil? Not Brazilian, but it's her storyline always ended up kind of she was an Amazonian.
Yeah.
From the Amazon, which is South America. So I didn't fuck up. That's where her. So, I mean that character role, they didn't get blonde hair and blue eyes to play Wonder Woman, which good job for you, DC. But honestly, my head just hurts thinking about Marvel now. Marvel did such a good job with the Iron Man and the Hulk and Thor, the Avengers, bringing all that together as one.
Like after Endgame, that's when it just fell.
Yeah,
that's when
100% how I feel about it. Endgame, I felt like should have closed the chapter on those characters. Like, let's recast and run the story back. Well, it'll branch off as another storyline, just like in comic books. You have like the main storyline, and then you jump off into something else. And now keeping Thor on, they did a Thor movie with the Guardians of the Galaxy.
I don't even remember them.
I feel like that movie was just it was a swing, and it wasn't a miss. People watched it.
It was good. I liked it.
But it wasn't I feel like it was like cheap laughs.
Yeah.
Like, let's make the best that we can. They brought in Russell Crowe as Zeus, and then I can't remember who they brought in as Hercules to go after Thor. So the next Thor movie we get, Hercules is lackey. I want to say it's Achilles, but I could be wrong from the bonus scene. But I feel like Marvel kind of pushed it. They pushed it to the edge, and then they completed it. It was amazing. The whole Thanos storyline, the Avengers, Infinity War, and then Endgame, like it was just a cap to the story, like.
And then the way that it laid out too, where through all the movies that led up to Endgame and Infinity War, they were getting rid of all the like most powerful people, like Ragnarok.
In Ragnarok, they got rid of.
What's that girl's name?
In Ragnarok, who did they get rid of?
What's their sister?
They got rid of two people in Ragnarok. Yeah. So they got rid of. Frida was the mom. Frida was their mom. What was their? She was.
I want to say it starts with like an H.
Hela. Yeah. So Hela.
And then the Ragnarok
could bear all of Thor's powers, and she was a god. So she honestly could have
killed Thanos.
She could have at least held the gauntlet, and it wouldn't have killed her. So then, but if you go back to the beginning of Ragnarok, that's when Anthony Hopkins' character, their dad, Odin kind of died.
Yeah.
So Odin, and a lot of people never made the connections of. So when you walk down through like the crown jewel room or whatever, they had a glove down there, an infinity gauntlet. So Odin had actually tried to do the same thing that Thanos was doing, or at least he had the means to making it happen if he ever needed to. And so Odin had to die for the story to make sense. And then Hela had to die because she was the daughter of a god, so she could have done it. And honestly, Thor could have wielded the gauntlet.
And I saw this video, talking about how they chose Hulk to do the first snap to bring everybody back. And he was like, where it's mostly like the radiation that he's already been exposed to. But they were talking about how literally Thor could have done it because he held when he made the Stormbreaker, he literally got like all the power of a star.
Yeah,
it survived.
And that's what I'm saying. Like it was, but I think part of that comes back down to they were letting characters go.
Yeah.
I think Robert Downey Jr. was done being Iron Man, and he was ready to move on with his career. Even if that doesn't mean he's making movies all the time, maybe it was just time for him to step out of the way. You've seen the new Black Panther. I haven't.
Uh-huh.
Is it still within the storyline? Kind of, sort of, not really.
I mean, there's nothing that really. I mean,
the bonus scene didn't have anything to do with the Avengers.
I mean, at some point, yeah.
Well, I mean, because they already said that the end of Phase 6, which is where Marvel's at now, will step into. There'll be 2 Avenger movies to finish it off.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna run back down that route. But at this point, we've already lost Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Chris Evans as Captain America. That ship has sailed. And
did they like greenlight the thing where they make a movie about how he goes back to the whole little time period?
Not that I know of. And honestly, at this point, to produce that movie, is you're still holding on to that character. So yeah, we're trying to push forward. So that's when we had the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So that's supposed to set up the next phase. And then we go back to, what was the other one that we watched?
Doctor Strange.
The Doctor Strange one. I didn't watch that. I didn't watch that movie all the way through.
You did?
I haven't even watched the Spider-Man all the way through. The new Spider-Man where Tobey Maguire comes back and Andrew Garfield, where they have all 3 of them in the same universe. Briefly.
I'm basically gonna spoil it for you.
You could spoil it for me. It doesn't matter.
Basically, to like bring everything back together,
It was the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
It was the Spider-Verse cartoon movie, and everyone was so impressed at how good that it did with Miles Morales as Spider-Man, and he had the guy that played Nick in New Girl was running the Fat Boy Spider-Man in the sweatpants, and then he had all these different Spider-Mans in the same. So they did the cartoon movie, and they were like, "Holy shit, this can work!" And they figured out a way to bring Doctor Strange in to make all these universes one or merged briefly, and I'm not mad at the concept. I just feel like Sony did it right with the Spider-Verse with Miles Morales, and of course Donald Glover should have played Miles Morales or should play Miles Morales in any version of a live action with that Spider-Man. Yes, Donald Glover. Yes, childish Gambino.
I wouldn't be like satisfied with anybody else.
Exactly. At this point now, I'm like, if it's not childish Gambino, I don't give a fuck.
He's not. I don't think he's making. I mean, he might like make music, but I'm not sure. I don't think he's planning on like dropping anything.
I mean, even if he doesn't drop anything,
he just finished his Atlanta. Just finished.
Yeah. So he's done Atlanta. We basically know that Donald Glover, as an actor, as a rapper, as anything he wants to do, he can do, and it's fucking ridiculous. Like, there's so many songs that it's like I don't even. It irritates me as how good he really is.
Yeah.
And like if you go back and you watch him on Community when he was just being goofy, like
he's really good in Community. I like
he portrayed it so well, and it was so good. And just like watching his stand up, he's a stand up comedian, he's also a rapper, he's also an actor. It literally anytime he does anything,
and he's a singer too.
Yeah, well, yeah,
and director.
Yeah. Literally, it's like this dude can do anything, and like I feel like that. I feel that way about a lot of people. I just feel like a lot of people don't want to put their neck out there.
Yeah.
They don't want to put their career on the line, but I feel like Donald Glover is like, I'm just gonna do whatever I want.
He like took like Kanye's like I can do anything and then like did it.
And yeah. I can do anything. Also, I'm about to do everything.
When way back Kanye was on an interview, he was like, I could feel like I can do anything. He was like, I feel like if I were to quit rapping right now, and if I wanted to be in the NBA, I could be in the NBA. He's like, you can. He's like, yes, I can.
So there was an interview that Kanye did with Swift. Swift used to work for MTV, but now he's on like Eminem's platform on Sirius satellite radio. But he Swift brought up like, hey man, Why don't you just do it yourself? And Kanye wasn't as big as he is now, so he couldn't. He needed Adidas. He needed, well, like you weren't even around for the first round of Yeezys that were with Nike. They were $3,000 to those tennis shoes. And then Adidas was like, hey, why don't we make this where anyone can buy it? And even, I mean, some of those Yeezy drops were like $285, $280, $300.
I mean, they were still expensive, but...
They were expensive, but it was
not
like...
to the point where
it was like the
okay.
an average person could save up, and if you knew they were coming out, you could buy them.
Yeah.
But $3,000 on a pair of shoes, when the Yeezys were at Nike, it's just
Nike,
like...
barely does that.
It was just Yeezy and the Yeezys that they ran, and then Travis Scott shit. Like that. Those are the most expensive.
They had their Dior ones.
Yeah, but those weren't everywhere, and that's the other thing about Adidas. Adidas was putting out massive supply. They were putting out the shoes everywhere, and yes, they were $285, and we're still putting them out, and they're still selling out. It was like buying a pair of Jordans, and. So, like, that's one thing that I feel like Adidas did really well. But, like, a lot of people don't know that Pharrell has a lifestyle line with Adidas. I don't know how all that panned out with this Kanye stuff.
Yeah.
And then James Harden has his basketball shoes, and he has a lifestyle line of shoes. And it just goes, Dame, the basketball player, played for the Trailblazers, Damian Lillard, my bad. He's got his shoes with Adidas, and I think I got a pair of Dames, but they were like a college issue. But the thing is, like, there's multiple artists that are still signed to Adidas, that they're still making shoes.
Yeah.
And then Adidas still wants to run the Ye shoes, just not with his name on them.
Yeah.
So they'll put them under that Ozelia or Ozil, whatever the other. They'll grab some name and put it on it.
Yeah. And
they own the design of the shoe, so. But whatever. I don't know how we got into that. We went from Marvel all the way to Kanye West shoes with Adidas.
Oh, because we brought up Donald Glover.
Yes, Donald Glover, the real Miles Morales, 100%.
There's nobody
I can see him in that role. There is no one else. Like, if you're going to make a Miles Morales live-action Spider-Man movie, it has to be Donald Glover. It has to be.
Like, it's been done before where they just get, like, random... Like, they just find, like, this random person that doesn't... Like, they've been acting before, but they're not, like, big, and then they give them that star role.
But I don't want to see...
I don't want to see somebody...
I don't want to see another Spider-Man movie. I don't want another Origins movie. I don't want it. I've seen Tobey Maguire in high school. I've seen Tom Holland in high school. I've seen Andrew Garfield in high school. Why do we need to keep going back to high school, Marvel/Sony? Why can't we just have it established? We know who the fuck Spider-Man is. We know. And, like, I didn't even watch the Robert Pattinson Batman. But the storyline was kind of already established. Mm-hmm. Like, why don't we just start a Marvel movie?
I hate that there's so many Batmans and so many Jokers. Like, it's so annoying.
I could not be in the room with all the Jokers. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. I really don't care for Jared Leto's the Suicide Squad Joker.
Oh no, that Joker.
I really don't care for it. I know. I mean,
I didn't watch.
There's only a certain point where you're too fucking crazy. Yeah. Like, I get that. Sometimes, yeah, you get to that point where there's, oh yeah, it's just fucking crazy as shit.
I think he had to do some like to get to the
I love Jack Nicholson as the Joker from the 1989 Tim Burton Batman way back in the day. I love Jack Nicholson as the Joker all day. I love Ledger as the Joker because he did an amazing job, and I always want to know the last story of, do you want to know how I got these scars? And then Batman says, no, but I know how you got these. Like, I always want to know what was the next story, because he had 3 stories. The one about his dad, and then the one about his ex-wife. Those are the two that he explains those stories. But I always want to know what that third story would have been. What was the third reason, the third story he conjured up in his head as to how he got those scars? And the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, I'm not mad about. I just don't. A lot of it, like, it doesn't sit right with me because there was no Batman involved and it was just
Joker.
A standalone Joker. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, people have mental health issues and sometimes people go crazy. And he killed Robert De Niro right there on TV. But I would have liked to see more of the Batman tie-in. And I know Joaquin Phoenix is never going to do a Batman movie. So if they run another Joker, it's just going to be Joaquin Phoenix running around all over town starting all kinds of bullshit. So I don't fully approve of the concept of that movie. Like, if you're not going to tie it into the universe and it's not going to be canon, I
don't really care about it.
I mean, I get it was a cash grab. Like, y'all made money on it and everything, but it's just not, it's not my favorite thing in the world just to make a movie to make a movie. Like, I want it to tie in somehow. Like, this, was it Suicide Squad 2?
Yeah.
Like, that was really good.
Yeah.
And then HBO Max did the John Cena Peacemaker spinoff.
That was a good show, too.
Which, it was good. There was a lot of aggressive shit that I had to tell him to look away at because John Cena, like, banging a chick from the back into the mirror in a restroom, I was not expecting to see John Cena's ass cheeks like that. But, you know, sometimes, like, Marvel doesn't push shit that far. There was the sex scene in one of their movies. What was it? The one Angelina Jolie, The Eternals. The Eternals. There was a sex scene in that movie. I didn't even watch that.
I didn't watch that movie either.
I mean,
I didn't watch it at all.
If it doesn't play out in canon and it's not relevant to the story, I don't care anymore. And that's just how I feel.
I think it had something to do with it, but like it wasn't like that big.
Yeah, and I just feel like it was a cash grab. Like, let's put Angelina Jolie in a Marvel Universe movie. And I think Angelina Jolie would have been super fucking cool as Captain Marvel. Even though her hair color's off. Yeah. They could have figured it out. Brie Larson,
I feel like the Captain Marvel that the Captain Marvel that we have gets like a lot of hate for no reason.
It's a lot. I mean, I don't know if it's a lot of hate. I just feel like it's the way they introduced her and just kind of shoved her into the universe.
Yeah, because she was in one movie, then she had her own movie, then she instantly got put into Endgame.
Exactly, and that's why I feel like that's why they're like, oh, we need someone else that's like super fucking powerful if they're gonna kill Thanos, so they used her. That's what I feel like happened, and I'm not a big fan of just like inserting characters like that. Like, it's not my thing.
Oh, and back to the Thanos thing, they had to kill off. I don't remember his like actual name in the movie. I hate saying Star-Lord because I hate that name. It's dumb.
Ego.
Yeah, Ego.
Kurt Russell's character. No, I read an article on that because they said there was 3 characters that had to die before Thanos could make his attempt for the snap to wipe out half the universe.
Yeah.
And the 3 characters were Hela, Odin, and Ego. Because Ego was a god. And he was already about to. He was a celestial.
He was about to take over the entire world.
Yeah, he was ready to take over the entire world where he was at, and to harness the energy of all the planets.
Yeah.
But he needed.
Which Thanos didn't have that power.
Thanos didn't have that power. But Thanos was as close to being a god. But that was that's another weird thing with the Marvel Universe. Like, Thanos is really close to being a god, but it only took the Guardians of the Galaxy to take out Ego. But he had a weakness. Thanos didn't have a true, clear-cut weakness. He didn't have something that he couldn't control.
Oh, yeah, because he had that core in the middle of
the planet. Ego had to have that planet functioning, and he had to come back to it.
And if they didn't kill Ego, like, wouldn't... what is his name in the movie?
Who?
Chris Pratt.
Star-Lord? Peter Quill?
Quill, yeah.
Yeah.
Peter Quill, whatever. he would have been able to do. He would have had the same powers as him
Ego.
too. Yeah.
He was supposed to be. He was half God, and that's like the first Guardians of the Galaxy when he held the stone so long.
Yeah.
That's when.
He nearly died, but.
Yeah, but they were like, and that's what his dad said. He goes, I heard that a human held an Infinity Stone for so long, and I knew it was you, because a normal human couldn't do that. And then the gold people, well, I don't know who the fuck.
I don't remember their names.
I don't remember the gold people. They were very interested in Peter Quill's background. But of all the Marvel movies, all of them, out of every fucking Marvel movie that was part of the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I feel like the only one that I truly cried was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yeah.
When Yondu...
Oh, Yondu died and Ego died, which the story...
Fuck Ego. Fuck Ego. Fuck Kurt Russell in that movie. Because he was a dipshit. But when Yondu took Quill, Star-Lord, up, and he saved him, and he only had that one breather, and he put it on Quill, and he told him, I may have not been your father, but I was always your daddy boy. And I was like, Jesus Christ! I was like, no! Don't die, Yondu! Don't! Because, like, Yondu got a bad rap for his whole life because they said he was smuggling kids. And, yes, he was. He was smuggling those kids back to Ego. But with Quill, something was different. So he kept Peter Quill. That's how he became Star-Lord. That's how he became a Ravager. And when he told him that, it was just like, I may have not been your father, but I was always your daddy boy. And it was just like, Jesus Christ.
It wasn't sad that Ego died. It was sad that, like, when Quill found out.
Oh, yeah, he fucking killed his mom. Yeah, that was pretty fucked up.
And that one scene where he just starts, like, shooting him just, like, constantly, and then his, like, thing is just, like, regrowing back.
Yeah.
Also, I liked it when he was just a skeleton, but he still, like, had that Aurora blue thing on him. That was cool.
Yeah, I can honestly say that's the only Marvel movie that I really cried in.
And when they played catch with their little power ball.
Yeah, that was pulling at heartstrings. I really felt that. Playing catch with this fucking, like, glowing ball.
Yeah.
And then Quill's like, you know what? I'm going to be making some weird shit! When he realized he could, like, generate energy like that. And then when they were fighting, he had, like, Pac-Man and...
Yeah.
Yeah. That was good. That was good shit. And I do love Chris Pratt as an actor. And
also, besides, like, the whole, like, everything in that movie, the everything else was, like, really funny, too.
Yeah. But that was still a movie that was relevant to the MCU. Mm-hmm. Because in that movie, they had to kill Ego so that Thanos could do his thing. And I'm just a big Gamora fan, too.
And Drax.
Gamora, Drax...
Whatever, I don't even
What's
know.
Gamora's sister's name?
Man, I don't know.
I don't either. I don't remember her name either. But I just remember in that movie, they're all grabbing that fruit. And she's trying to grab that fruit, and it's not ripe yet. And they all kick it back. And then she kills all those Ravagers, and she... It's not ripe yet.
I don't know what that other girl's name is.
What is her name? I don't know.
I don't even know what she looks like as a real person, because she has, like, the alien...
Yeah, she's blue,
eyes.
And her eyes are black.
No, the girl...
Oh, you're talking about Mantis.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about. I do like that scene, too. When Drax tells her... I don't know if it's in that movie. But Drax tells her, you're hideous. But he's like, I still love you. For you as a person, of like who you are on the inside. And he goes, and that's how you know that you have real friends. Like... when you're ugly as fuck and people still love you because they don't love you for your looks. And like I felt that when Drax said that. Like there's some dudes, there's some females that I just enjoy spending time with. And they may not be the cutest people in the world, but hey, I like you as a person.
Honestly, I just like the whole cast of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Like Drax is
for sure.
super
Bradley
funny.
Cooper is one of my favorite actors.
Like even the first one, when, like without all the other people, well, all the 2 other people that they added.
Yeah, but Bradley Cooper as Rocket.
Oh yeah.
I definitely love that. Like,
and Groot.
Yeah, and Vin Diesel as I am Groot. He says one fucking line all the time.
I wonder how much they pay him.
A ridiculous amount of money. I could have said that. I am Groot.
And he did his, and they did those little. Did you watch the I Am Groot show?
Yeah, on Disney Plus. Yeah, and he literally says the exact same thing. But that opening sequence to Guardians Galaxy 2, when he's there, they're all fighting on that planet for those batteries or whatever.
Oh, yeah, he has the opening scene where he's
dancing. And Groot's just like dancing, and when Drax is there, he's like, Groot's just like.
He's waiting for him to leave.
And, but I mean, Vin Diesel did a great job saying one line. But I've noticed that Vin Diesel always plays the same character. Well, he plays 3 characters. He just plays them all the time. In the Pitch Black movies, where he had the goggles on, he was blind, but he could see like colors or whatever. And then, of course, Dom Toretto from all the Fast and the Furious movies that he produces and makes over. All right, they better not make no more motherfucking Fast and Furious movies.
What are they on? 9?
God damn it! How you sent these motherfuckers to space? Chill out, Vin Diesel. You sent Ludacris to space.
They had
with Tyrese.
Idris Elba in the last one, right?
Yeah. I think that's right. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't watched like the last 3.
I haven't watched any of them.
Well, at all. In my book, because I haven't watched them, like the original Fast and the Furious will always have like a special place in my heart because it was the first one of its kind. Yeah. Like it established the storytelling and everything. And in the second one, when they brought Tyrese in and Paul Walker, Brian Spillner or Brian, or whatever the fuck his name was, when he ran those Too Fast, Too Furious with Eva Mendes, and then even Tokyo Drift when they brought in Little Bow Wow and the dude from Friday Night Lights, the movie. Like they were establishing like a universe or a storyline, and then the storyline just got all fucked up. Yeah. That's what happened. And I don't like it when they take shit like too far. And that's exactly what they did with that.
What do you think they should do with John Wick? Do you think this should be the last one?
We haven't seen this one.
I know, but like if it
that's what I'm saying. Like
if it ends where he kills everybody and he finally makes it out and he's in the clear, do you think they should end it?
Well, because I have looked at the storyline, and I have looked at the preview, and basically he has like a task to complete, and he has to challenge like an elder of whatever. Oh, somebody that's like a head honcho. He has to challenge them, but he also has to make it through all the fucking headhunters and other. So, I say that John Wick. I think the way you finish John Wick is you give him.
This is the 5th one, right?
Is it the 5th one or the 4th one? I thought it was the 4th one. I say lean this way because you're on camera. I don't think that way. I think you give John Wick a proper death. Like, I mean, sometimes you can keep running and making a movie like James Bond. There's been way too many, and I feel like it's time that for John Wick's character that he gets to die and be in peace with his wife, who's already passed away. I feel like it's time. I feel like he fights the big boss, and I feel like he beats the big boss, right?
Yeah.
He beats the big boss, but during the fight, he sustains injuries that are so over the top that he gets to leave as the champion as he won, but then he dies in the aftermath. His injuries were so fatal that he dies, and I think that's how you end John Wick. Because what I don't want to happen is what they've been doing with the fucking Matrix, where he came back or he's still there. And I didn't even watch The Matrix.
I don't even really like the. I haven't seen the other. Actually, no. I've seen one of them. I think. I don't remember which one it is because I didn't.
The John Wick movies?
No, the Matrix. Oh. I love John Wick.
I mean, the Matrix stuff. That was before your time, man. That was when I was a kid. And I mean, I think the first Matrix came out when I was probably in like middle school, and that would have been like, holy fuck, like maybe like 2003 or 4. I want to say one of the first Matrix came out, maybe earlier, and then they revamped it and redid it for this last one that they did, and it was supposed to be like John Wick and the Matrix movie, like come out like within weeks of each other, and they just kept pushing John Wick, and they're still pushing it, and and that's fine. Like for Keanu Reeves money wise, I would be like, I don't want those to come out the same weekend, or even 6 months of each other. Spread it out. I want to get paid, but I do feel like John Wick needs to die.
Yeah.
I feel like it's time, like. All this shit started because of they killed his dog, but he got out of all that shit because his wife ended up dying. And I feel like it's time that I feel like at the end of this movie, they should have a funeral for John Wick, and he should beat the big boss. He makes it to the big boss. He kills all these badasses on the way. But when he makes it to the big boss, he finds a way to win, and then he walks away, and like he dies in his car. He dies in a Shelby Cobra fucking Mustang, like Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds, like gunmetal gray, full blown out Eleanor, like the unicorn car. He gets in the car, he starts to drive, hits him and his puppy, and then you just see the brake lights turn on, and he just like hunches over because he's bled out too much. That's how you kill John Wick. So anything else, I'll be pissed off about.
In the first one, they kill his dog and they rob him and stuff.
Yeah.
And then in the second one, they take his whole car. And then
I want to say this right. They kill his dog. And then they just didn't know who they were fucking with.
Yeah.
And then Halle Berry shows up.
Oh yeah, because in the second one, that dude tells his son that he watched somebody kill someone with a pencil, but what she does in the first movie.
Because what do they call him?
Baba Yaga.
Which means.
And no, he says the boogeyman. He's like He's the one we sent to kill the boogeyman.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a badass nickname.
Yeah.
But I feel like John Wick has to die. If he doesn't die, it takes away from the legendary status that Keanu Reeves has created in that universe or in that world.
Like if I felt like they just kept on going, they could ruin it. Like
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's why I say he has to die. He needs to die at the end of this one, because I feel like if you keep making them, it turns into like a James Bond kind of shit, where like the legend lives on, but then you got to have another actor to pick up the John Wick role later. And no one's ever going to be Keanu Reeves as John Wick. So I feel like he killed him off. I feel like he goes in, he beats the big boss, but in the course of fighting the big boss, he gets stabbed in like the lower abdomen. Sword goes through and through. Because it's a sword. It has to end on a sword fight. It can't end on guns. It has to end on like a samurai sword fight. And in the process of John Wick decapitating the big boss, he gets stabbed in the abdomen, and it goes into his stomach and out of his back, and the dude's dead. His head's off on the ground because John Wick goes for the kill shot. He gets it, but at the same time the dude stabs him in the abdomen, and then as the guy's like decapitated and falls back, he pulls the sword out, and John Wick's just fucking bleeding, and then he makes his way to his fucking car, which is either like a 67 Camaro or a 67 Mustang, or it could be a Chevelle. Like it's an old classic car that's beefed up. He sits in the car and He's taken the big boss's dog. There's this Italian Mastiff or like a Rottweiler that sits next to him, and he looks at the dog, and then he looks at the car, and he starts the car, and he drives like 10 feet, and then he dies in the car. I think that's the only way to finish John Wick. If you do anything else, I feel like you're fucking up the legend and the character of John Wick.
I'm still trying to remember what happens throughout all the movies.
Like, okay, would you be satisfied if John Wick beats the big boss, gets in a car and drives home, finds a woman, has 2 kids, and they show him at a barbecue, and he's drinking a beer, and there's 2 twins, little baby John Wicks in the backyard, and his wife is there giving him a hug? I wouldn't be satisfied.
Yeah.
Fuck that ending. That's a fucking bullshit, Hollywood bullshit ending. The real ending is he dies in the car after he kills the big boss. It's the only way it goes down. And if it doesn't go down that way, it's bullshit.
And then at the end of the second one, that's when he says send all of them, and then it has the scene where everybody's getting the notification from their phone. And then the third one starts, and he goes to do something, and with that one other girl, whatever that actor's name is. And then at the end of that one, he meets up with the one dude that has all the pigeons. And then that's it.
Oh, yeah. Morris Chestnut. With the eye?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I just really feel like it's time to kill off John Wick. Like, I love John Wick. I love the movies. But I feel like if you keep going, you're going to fuck it up. And that's how I feel about it.
It's crazy to think of how many people like get to act in that movie and then just die.
But like when you look at it, like, okay, like from a great director standpoint, Christopher Nolan. He did 3 Batman movies with Christian Bale as Batman.
Oh, okay.
And he ended it perfect. I was not mad. The first one, Batman Begins, with Katie Holmes as Rachel. I wish Katie Holmes could have stayed on for the second film, third film, until she died in the second one. Well, the character died. But I feel like the only thing that lacked in that trilogy of The Dark Knight was that they had to switch actresses for Rachel. Because Katie Holmes was with Tom Cruise's crazy ass. But I feel like, besides that, Christopher Nolan, I would never fucking argue with anything he's done as a director. Because everything he's ever done has been fucking phenomenal. And I truly feel that way about The Dark Knight and the Christian Bale Batman movies. Because Tom Hardy as Bane, for an actor to portray so much acting with a mask on,
yeah,
you're literally reading his eyes every time he's on screen. Because you can't see what his mouth is doing. And so many one-liners, like speak of the devil and he shall appear, and then Bane walks into the room, and then when the other guys are like, well, I gave you this and I gave you this and I gave you this, so you think giving me money gives you power over me? And then the off the script shit that he did when the little boy's singing the national anthem, and then he's there. What a lovely, lovely voice. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me, bro? Like, Tom Hardy is an actor, and there's reasons that Christopher Nolan picks these actors for his movies. If you look at Inception, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Tom Hardy, Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm going to fuck up her name. I don't know her name. But she played Ra's al Ghul's daughter in the Batman trilogy, and she was Leonardo DiCaprio's wife in Inception. When Christopher Nolan gets a hold of a script or gets to write a script, he fucking does an amazing job. And of all trilogies that I think have ever released, the Dark Knight trilogy is perfect. Except for the fact that Katie Holmes was married to Tom Cruise and she couldn't be Rachel in the second one. But I do like the chemistry that Maggie Gyllenhaal had with the Two-Face actor, Harvey Dent, and I can't remember his name right now. I do like her chemistry, and I don't think it would have been the same with Katie Holmes. So I'm not 100% mad, but I would have liked to see Katie Holmes in it. And the Ledger interaction with her, when he says, well, hello, beautiful, and you are beautiful. And he puts the knife to her mouth. We didn't deserve him as an actor ever. Going back to 10 Things I Hate About You and A Knight's Tale. The things that Ledger could do as an actor are fucking phenomenal. And then you got to go back to looking at Christian Bale as American Psycho. I don't know. I feel like I want to watch the movies. Forgot about? What did you forget about?
The Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh. Do you think we're ever going to really get to see that?
Yeah.
You sure? I really hope that we fucking do.
They released the date of it.
What's the date?
It's some either
4 years from now?
2024.
2020.
I might be wrong.
You do realize 2024 you'll be... That's 2 years from now. I'm not gonna lie though. I am super amped for that. I have been a Ryan Reynolds fan since before you want to admit that you knew who Ryan Reynolds was. Van Wilder, like way back then. Like I remember, I was we can go throwback Chris Evans and Not Another Teen Movie when he's walking around with a banana in his butt. And yeah, this shit really happened, bro. Son. There was whipped cream and a banana in Chris Evans' butt in the movie. And he was playing a spin-off character that was based on Van Wilder that Ryan Reynolds actually played in a movie. And it was called Not Another Teen Movie. And Chris Evans was there as that guy. And in my head, it's crazy to think that that's Captain America. The same dude that was walking around with whipped cream on his dick and a banana in his butt. On screen in a fucking movie. And then they're like, oh yeah, we're going to cast this guy's Cap. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, okay guys. Good job. Like, I guess y'all thought this through.
I don't feel like waiting a year for Creed. Or 2 years.
When does Creed come out?
I'm pretty sure it's next year.
I know, but we're like a month away from 2023.
I don't remember.
I know.
I just know.
I am super amped for Creed 3.
And that's the only other reason I want to watch the Ant-Man and the Wasp. This second one?
We're making the second one? I haven't been keeping up with this shit.
But
I've really...
Kang is the dude.
Okay, so...
What is that his name?
But we're talking about Phase 6 now, Marvel. Oh, I'm a fucking nerd. Phase 6 Marvel is... Kang is the big bad.
But the Ant-Man and the Wasp is introducing him.
Okay.
So, yeah, this will be the end of it. I'm pretty sure. Because there's not any other movies that are coming out. Because we just got done with Black Panther. Thor's already came out a long time ago. There's no other...
Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
I can't...
I'm not gonna lie.
No, I think that comes out in
fucking love Chris Pratt. Yeah. Like, he's just all around my kind of guy.
And Parks and Rec, too.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's one of the biggest reasons that he is all around my kind of guy. And I go back with Chris Pratt all the way to Everwood on the CW when he was so-and-so's fucking douchebag brother. We're gonna fucking watch Everwood clips, and I'm gonna show you Chris Pratt in his youngest form on film, and that shit's wild.
Oh, and he plays what's that? I don't know what his name is, but in Onward.
Oh yeah. He's fuck.
It's Ian and
Ian's
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland, and Chris Pratt is his older, fatter brother with the battle vest on, which I dig. Fuck, what's his name? Jesus Christ. Google that shit.
Just starts with a B.
A bee?
Yeah.
Barley.
Barley, yeah.
Yeah, barley. Like a barley wine. But yeah. Oh man, that's of everything that Disney's put out that's not live action. Onward, right?
Yeah, Onward.
I'm saying it right. Onward. In my head I want to say upward. But Onward, the story of two brothers in this fucking ridiculous Dungeons and Dragons kind of storyline. It's so fucking good.
Terrifying in that movie.
But I mean, I have all boys, so I have 3 sons. So of course that movie means way more to me. Like if I would have died like their dad did, and for some reason I could send them a crystal and a staff and come back for one day, I would hope all 3 of my sons go through this fucking crazy voyage.
Dude, I'd be so mad though, like the way that they go all the way over there.
It is right there! It was right there the whole time. No, but that's like that movie, and then like it's heartbreaking in that movie when Ian tells Barley, he was like, "No, you go see Dad." And he was like, "But you never got to meet him." He was like, "But I had a dad," and he's like, "You taught me this. You taught me this. All the things that his brother taught him are the things that he wanted his dad to teach him." And I was just like, "Oh God!"
The scene where he starts thinking about it, and he's like, "Wait a minute."
When he's sitting there with his dad on the fucking leash on his pants, and he starts crossing stuff out, and then he looks at it, he starts checking stuff off that he did in that one day with his brother. Like, oh man,
Disney makes some sad movies sometimes.
That shit makes me feel fucking emotional. Like Disney is the best at fucking an absent parent.
Yeah.
There's so many Disney movies where there's no parent or absent parents. Look at Frozen. Where are their parents at? They're dead.
What's Emperor's New Groove? The mom in that movie is the only Disney mom to not like die or be villainized or whatever.
But I mean, you can go through like countless Disney movies, and okay, let's talk about Lion King. Mufasa dies. His brother kills him. Simba's uncle murders him in that movie. Disney is the best at fucking killing off parents and then making a movie out of it. If there was parents to begin with or not. Cinderella, where are her parents? She's an orphan. Cinderella, clean up the fucking floor. I mean, Ariel in Little Mermaid never met her mom. Never knew what happened to her mom.
Moana has a mom and dad.
Moana does have a... Moana breaks the fucking cycle a little bit. But then we jump into Raya the dragon. And the main character, the girl. We never hear about her mom. Yeah, we never hear shit about her mom. Her dad got turned into stone. But what happened to her mom? Hey, where's your mom at? Oh, who? Your mom. The woman that you came out of. Where did she go? Oh, I don't know. We just hear about her dad in that whole movie. God damn, I never thought about that.
Usually they have like a little scene where they go and where she's at or what happened.
Fucking Lilo and Stitch. Yeah. Their parents are gone. Her sister's raising her. And then Lilo steps in. But I mean Stitch. Lilo's the little girl. Stitch steps in. The little alien becomes her best friend.
Mr.
Hey,
Coles.
Toy Story?
Toy Story?
Where the fuck is Andy's dad at? Where's that motherfucker been at? We've had 3 goddamn movies and ain't never heard nothing about that motherfucker. Was he at the bar drinking with me? Probably. Do I take care of my kids? Yup. Where he been at? But I'm saying, like...
I'm trying to think of more Disney movies.
You sit there and think about Disney movies like, what the fuck?
Oh, and Up, his wife literally dies.
His wife did die.
And the other kid, I mean, he has parents, but...
No, his dad doesn't go to his...
Oh, yeah.
His outdoor meetings and shit, so then the old man starts doing it. That's fucked up, Disney. Yeah. Y'all sorry, motherfuckers. Goddamn. Y'all out here, like, repping for the kids that got that shit hard. But at the same time, it's like, I can't make one movie where the fucking both parents are there. Well, we said Moana. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. My bad, Moana. But she doesn't rely on her parents because her dad's an asshole in that movie.
Boy,
and then her mom helps her pack up to get on that raft and say, "Fuck you, Dad." And then Dwayne The Rock Johnson as fucking Maui basically like helps her find herself.
I would have thought we would have had like a Moana 2. Actually, I don't want one. I feel like you'd ruin it.
I don't know what you would do in Moana 2. They're Voyagers now.
In Moana, her grandma dies.
That was fucked up too. She's like, when I die, I'm gonna come back as one of these, or I got the wrong tattoo. I don't want to talk about coming back as a tattoo. Fuck that. I got some fucked up tattoos. Yeah, man, Disney's pretty fucked up around the way. Okay, so when I was growing up, I used to watch Boy Meets World, which was like ABC, which is still Disney. And
I'm so mad they took it off of Disney Plus.
He watched Girl Meets World. But in Girl Meets World, Corey and Topanga are her parents, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll give Disney that. Because when I was a little kid, I swear to God, if Corey didn't end up with Topanga one day, I was going to fucking murder some people. Like, they were the perfect couple.
Oh, and they have Sean, too.
Their brother. Oh, Sean.
Sean's in Girl Meets World, but he's not with the one girl.
No. But I honestly feel like that was one of the best things that Disney ever did. Why the fuck are we talking about this? This has just gone into all Disney and MCU shit today. Oh, man. I hope Tom Brady's losing a fucking football game right now while I'm drinking a second Corona recording it. Oh, man. But this is good, though. But yeah, Disney, all the streaming services. I'm really ready for DC to step their shit up.
I don't think they're going to.
I don't think they're ever going to either. Releasing that Robert Pattinson Batman movie, I'm just going to say it up front. Robert Pattinson will always be a shitty vampire from Twilight. He always will be. And Bella Swan, don't know that girl's real name. She'll always be the girl that fell in love with a vampire. Always. Doesn't matter.
There's a DC movie coming up. I don't remember what.
A new one?
Black Adam just came out.
Yeah, we saw Black Adam.
That was a good movie.
Henry Cavill recalibrated the role as Superman.
I don't know if they said that they were gonna do it yet though.
Well, no. Then we have Shazam, Part 2.
Oh yeah.
With him and all his siblings, which Black Adam is still using those same powers. So I would assume that Black Adam will show up in that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here. At this point, DC needs to get their shit together. Yeah. Batman, all day. You can keep making Batman movies and people are gonna keep paying for them. Superman, all day. As long as Jason Momoa is Aquaman, all day. As long as Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman, all day. But
the first like Wonder Woman like by herself, that one was good. I want to go see that with Grandma.
It was good. Yeah.
I didn't think
the 1984? That one was good too.
I don't think I watched it though.
I watched it. It was good. It wasn't anything.
They can't do anything with Flash. They're gonna have to recast that dude.
Fucking Ezra Miller. God damn it, you stupid son of a bitch. Did they catch him?
Or is he still on the run?
I don't know if they caught him or not, but I like him as an actor.
He was good.
No, like, not even as Flash. Like, as an actor in general, I've seen him in movies. He was in Perks of Being a Wallflower, and I love that movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good movie.
I know what movie you're talking about.
But it's a good movie. And, what did he do? Threaten to kill girls or rape girls? What did he do?
It's something like that. Maybe assault?
I don't know. All I'm saying is, guys, get your shit together. They're coming at us, bro. Be the best version of yourself and don't do no dumb shit. That's for everybody. Oh, I think we're gonna wrap. You got something to say?
I'm like feeling like there's one more movie that's coming out that I'm not remembering.
In the DC or in the Marvel?
No, just in general.
In general? We already talked about Creed.
What? In Spider-Man, they basically nobody remembers that he's Spider-Man anymore. And everybody.
That Tom Holland?
Yeah.
Because of the.
Everybody forgets who Peter Parker is.
Oh, sweet.
So in
so we solved that. We solved that problem with Doctor Strange. Okay.
But in the Doctor Strange one, he has his third eye now.
Yeah, Doctor Strange has a third eye in his forehead.
He meets up with that girl that just ripped a time whole thing in space with her hand, and they go do something, and then it ends.
That's the girl that he's running with in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched like the first half of it, and it was just like Marvel, Disney, MCU. They did such an extremely good job with it. The problem is, it has to go a little bit goofy. Mm. Like the Loki concept, where they made the Loki TV show on Disney Plus.
Yeah, there's a season 2 of that too.
Oh yeah, they greenlighted it. I mean, honestly, the actor that plays Loki, Tom Hiddleston, he's probably one of my favorite in the MCU. Just all across the board. He's portrayed, that doesn't even fucking make sense. He's portrayed Loki so well that in my head, when someone says Loki, or I would think back to Greek mythology,
I don't know another Loki.
It's Tom Hiddleston. Like, it doesn't matter, like, comic books growing up or any kind of cartoon I ever watched where Loki was portrayed, but in my head,
Tom Hiddleston when you just, like, think of Loki, like,
Loki.
When they, like the... What is it called? Mythology?
Yeah, Greek mythology.
I just instantly think of him.
He's right there. He's the one. And I'll give Chris Hemsworth that too. Him portraying Thor, because Thor in the comic books and any kind of media that came out, Thor was clean shaven with long blonde hair. Mm-hmm. But Chris Hemsworth has done such a good job as Thor that's Thor. Like, no one will ever be able to tell me, like, oh, this is Thor. Chris Hemsworth, that's Thor. The same way I feel about Loki. And the same way I feel about Odin.
He's supposed to have a Disney Plus show. I think it's already out. Just by himself. It's like it's not anything to do with MCU. But it's like it's just him doing stuff, I think.
I
think he has
You're talking about Chris Hemsworth right now?
Thor?
Yeah.
He has a 15, 18 more % chance of getting...
Oh, yeah, with his Alzheimer's and shit?
Alzheimer's.
Yeah. Like, so that's why he's taking a break from acting to spend more time with his kids and his family, because they said he is, like...
Because of his genetics.
Like, he's, like, honestly, like, 50% more likely...
Yeah.
Because of the tests that they ran on him, that he'll get Alzheimer's one day, and he won't be able to remember shit. And like mad respect to Chris Hemsworth from fucking stopping your acting career for a little bit and spending time with your family, because that's the shit that matters. Like if you're not willing to give up your career for your kids, then what are you really doing your career for? You're doing it for your kids, for your family. And yeah, when I read that, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was like taken back, like, damn. Like, to be at the top of your game, and then someone tell you, like, hey, like 15 years from now, you might not be able to remember your kids' names.
That's
like
super.
So make the memories now. Like, that's one thing I always tell people. Everybody's like, well, I'm busting ass and I'm trying to provide a better life for my kids, for my family, for my wife. I wanted to be able to do this, and this. Hey, nobody ever remembers any of that shit. They only remember the memories. Like, I don't remember my dad busting ass at work. I just remember when my dad would take me to do stuff. I don't remember my mom going to work and dropping me off at school. I just remember the memories of when I would do shit with my mom. So do shit with your kids now, and fucking tomorrow's not promised. So do some cool shit right now. That's one reason that this is fucking cool. I get to sit here and talk shit about... Dude, we never get into these conversations. We get into conversations, but I feel like...
sometimes we get into, like...
Yeah, when I've been really drunk. Yeah, sometimes.
Well, sometimes we're even, like, just driving in the car.
Yeah.
But it usually stops, because then we get out of the car and then...
Exactly.
Conversation.
But now we're just, like... let's record this and just keep talking. So this is memories.
I feel like we could do this for like half a day and we wouldn't even realize it.
I honestly feel that way too. Like, let's just fucking live stream for 9 hours. And as long as we had like food and I had beer and you had soda or sweet tea or whatever, I feel like we could just keep running with this. And this is one of my favorite things ever. Because, like, if it's not Troy sitting here, it's Vincent. And me and Vincent, we hang out on a selective basis. There's sometimes that me and Vincent won't hang out for a week at a time. Maybe 2 weeks. So...
Yeah, but it's different because Vincent has, like, a life and a job and a family and everything. But
I have a job and everything. Yeah. And I do see you... I see you every day.
Yeah.
Except for the weekends when you're with your mom. But your school's down the street, and then I pick you up and bring you here. So we kind of just... All right, I love you, buddy. I'll see you tomorrow, and then that's it. But, like, when we get to do these, it's like... All right, if we go 30 minutes, if we go 20 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, it doesn't matter because we can just keep running a conversation and it just feels like it's not like it's a bonding moment, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like we're forcing a conversation because we talk about rappers, we talk about some other stuff. Your grandpa's passed out on the couch, and we were talking to him earlier. But it's just random shit like this that it kind of makes the day because I could be at a bar right now.
It's gonna be funny.
Talking to some random dude.
Now, and we're gonna upload this video, and he's gonna be like, "Man, when did they do this?"
Yeah. When did y'all record a podcast? Like, you were asleep. You and Kane were asleep, and Oliver was on his Switch, so we didn't really care if Tom Brady won or lost, so we just recorded a podcast.
I bet you he didn't win.
Tom Brady, the game's still on.
Yeah, I know, but I'm betting. I bet you he didn't win.
I don't know. I bet against him the other night, and he came back and won in the fourth quarter. But, like, that's one of the coolest things. As Troy gets older, we can talk about different stuff and have different conversations that we couldn't have when he was 5 or 7, like Oliver is. One day, y'all, my second oldest son will be on this podcast, and we'll talk about movies and the random shit that's going on in his life and the things that we do together, and then one day
and the conversations would be like so different because like 10 years from now he'd be what? Oh wait, no, he'll be my age. Yes.
10 years from now he'll be
4. No,
we're talking about Kane or Oliver?
No,
10 years from now Oliver will be 17.
No, the amount of time that he is to be 13 be 6 years, right?
Yeah, 6 years from now
you'd be...
Let's not talk about that right now. I'll be 39. I'll be an old man, long in the tooth with the white hair that I already have.
And you'd be 39 talking to a person that grew up during COVID. And then one day I'll have a conversation with Kane, a baby that was born during COVID. The life could be completely different by then. We have no idea what the fucking future holds. But, like, to have 3 kids in 3 different fucking aspects of life. And by then, hopefully you're recording this and there's multiple cameras. But all of us are in different decades. Well, not really me, because I'm 2009. It's like a year away. But
yeah, and then
Oliver's 2015, and then Kane's 2020.
Kane's 2019.
What?
He was born in... Oh, no, he was 2020. You're right. My bad. You're right. He was 2020. He was that first 3 months of 2020, yeah. But by then, hopefully we have a fucking real studio.
It might not even be this room. Yeah, it won't be this room.
I mean, it could be, but who knows? It could be this same room and we just have it set up better.
Yeah.
With more than just my iPhone 12. And multiple cameras and mics attached we're talking into. But you never know. Like, I mean, we can already go to the studio now.
You know, it'd be cool if we went like really, really, really far, and like we got like everything to make like a professional, and like we were just like sustaining it, and you would do a time lapse of what the room looked like over time. You could see the chairs and like everything, and more stuff to put on the wall, like over time.
You don't like this chair my buddy Will gave me?
Yeah, I like it.
I mean,
or like the setup that I like.
If you're watching this far into the podcast, I'll tell you, this chair came from Goodwill. It was $24.99. That chair came from Sam's. That chair and that, so that my kid's mom, my ex-wife, that she could nurse the kid or nurse the baby Kane and watch TV in here. That's why there's a couch in this room. So, if anyone ever wondered, like, why the fuck is there a love seat in that room? That's why we got that, so she could nurse the baby and watch TV. And this came from a homeboy, Will, that works at the Goodwill.
That's funny.
I know your mom asked me, where'd you get that chair from? I was like, oh, my buddy Will gave it to me.
You should have said Will at Goodwill.
I said that my buddy Will gave it to me, and she's like, oh, yeah? I was like, yeah, he's a good dude. He's a Goodwill dude. And then bringing this here in the Crown Vic, hanging out in the trunk.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. But, yeah. I'm going to chug the rest of this beer. Anything else you want to talk about?
Oh, another reason I really like Donald Glover is Donald Glover. Is it V or B? It's V, right?
Donald Glover? Yeah. Glover, like Glover? A glove?
Glover. Yeah. Oh. But he's, like, super real about everything. Like, have you seen him? Oh, I sent you the one video where he's like, I don't really like suicide. Like, if I wanted to kill myself, I could do it right now. And he just, like, laughs about it. And it's like, what? And then he has the other one where he's like, I don't believe in suicide. Like, you only do it one time. So, no, being suicidal. You only do it one time.
Yeah. No, like, I'm with you on that. That people, look.
And then he talks about how, like, people live like you couldn't die tomorrow.
Shit, I could die tonight.
Exactly. Yeah.
People talking about I could die tomorrow. You could die tonight if you really fucking happens.
No, like he's saying, like people live like people aren't living like they could die tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Like not to the fullest.
Yeah.
Like they're living life like I got another shot at this again. But we don't like.
He's like he's like we're all gonna die alone. So it's yeah.
I'll give him that. And that's another topic. There's a little bit of beer left, so let's fucking touch on it. We're here, mental health wise. If you're at a spot that you need someone to talk to, message me on here. Message me on Instagram. It's Gorilla Rob on Instagram. Gorilla with the U and the E, not the O. But talk to somebody. Because at the end of the day, I'd rather drink a beer with you than hear you kill yourself. I'd rather drink a beer with you and have a conversation rather than somebody telling me that you ended your life because you had a bad day or a bad week or a bad month or a bad year. There's more to life than just what you're going through right now. So we can kill a 12-pack and talk about it, or we can grab a coffee and talk about it. But I don't ever want anyone to ever feel like there's no one to talk to. There's people to talk to. People in your life care about you. There's a mom, a dad, a sister, a cousin, a brother, a kid, something. Somebody will talk to you. So don't do no dumb shit. Let's grab a beer and hang out.
In Atlanta too, he has this one scene where he's taking his kid. I think he's taking his kid home. And he's in the bus and he's talking to this random dude, and he's like, I just feel like there's just people that are here just to make it easier for everybody else. And I'm like, dang, that's crazy. And then that dude disappears and then appears in the forest somewhere another day. You need to watch that show. It's really crazy.
What's it on Hulu?
Yeah.
I gotta need to log in for your mom. Alright. Talk shit in the comments. Topics, put them in the comments, and we'll touch on them. Like, I'm open to suggestions.